Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. It is September 9th. We are looking at SPY 0-day options today. Technical analysis and the small account challenge. Let's see, today Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday, full week this week. Let's review. So I had a pretty good day yesterday. Wanted to be careful today not to get too overconfident and just be picky about setups. So we opened up today above 5-day moving average and really just started quite a bit of chop this morning. I was here for the morning. I got purple here first, white, and then gold. Got all that probably in the first like 30 minutes, or sorry, 15 minutes. I don't remember what I was considering then. Yeah, I wasn't considering a whole lot. I was kind of thought about how I could have taken puts on the resistance of white, but there's just such tight structure, and yeah, I just left it alone. So anticipated this coming down, but not making it too far necessarily because there's not much structure there. Anyways, completed the inverse cup, and to me that looked like gold was probably the one that was building liquidity for the bears, which is supports here, resistance here, and again in here. Let's see. Oh, there's resistance up there also. And then also purple, but that was, yeah, that wasn't as strong of a one. And then white as a resistance for the bulls, potentially building liquidity. And you see when it broke here, it ripped once it broke that white. It was weird. There was no, I didn't see any news data coming out at 10, but we definitely had a 10-minute candle. Happy I was not in for that because nothing showed me data at 10. There was supposed to be no data today. 10 and then also 11 we had it looked like a data candle, but look at this, all volume. I don't know what was going on. Some data that didn't show up on my radar, I guess. Yeah, let's see. Then we came down here, then I got green going on sometime in here. It did rally up and complete the cup. Easy up, easy down, potentially. Got a lot of liquidity down here if it wants to go down, and sure enough, wow, it's so crazy looking at it in hindsight. It's like, looks like a perfect head, and here's your shoulder, and there's your shoulder. Anyways, this did show us the aggressive buying though, and then on the way down it showed us the aggressive selling algo, and then it was just kind of waiting for it to grab this as well as break gold. However, yeah, I'll just show you the trade here at this point. So I didn't have gold here yet, but it came down and started to show some support on this gold, this lighter gold, which was fine. But if it breaks it, I was like wondering, I wonder if there's a lower algo below here. And I figured Eric and Emperor probably had one. So then I just looked up here and I was like, I'll just grab these resistances and put that in case that is it. And sure enough, it looked like it probably was. So I didn't take it on a break here. Let me see, when did I take this first one? I did get the move though, which I'm happy about. Oh, my first trade is actually a call at 10:19. Okay. Yep. So this was basically just the problem. Yeah. So this was a bounce on. This is just a basically call at support, and right here at 10:19. Part of the problem with this though, it's not a bad trade. I mean, I have a clear stop here with gold, but I think the likelihood of it going up is probably lower just because this definitely looked like a head. It didn't build any liquidity up here. It had it down here, it ripped, and then it dumped pretty quick. So yeah, not to say it couldn't have. This was basically a retracement trade, so looking for a move back up to white or even green potentially, if I had green at that point before it came down, if it was going to, or a rally. But yeah, the fact there was like not really much liquidity up here, at least that's what it looks like, according to Eric, and he's right. There could be a ton of liquidity here. It's just not going to show up with a lot of volume and a lot of time passing, if that makes sense. Typically not, I feel like, but yeah. Anyways, so I did get a call here, and I stopped out of that one once it broke there at 23. It was actually this candle. Which one? Wait. Oh, this one. Yeah, it was a red candle, and this one, kind of an unfortunate fill. I I closed it before the candle closed, and it ended up flipping from red to green. Not to say I wouldn't have closed it right here anyways, so happy with that. If this flipped and then rallied, I would have been a little sad, but it was right to close. I just got a bad fill because I didn't wait for the candle to close. But I'm fine with it too, because honestly, that candle could have closed like below a day. So cut it there for small loss, 43 cents to 38. Little loss, but no problem. And then next trade was at 10:31. I was in a put. So that's what I was saying right here. I didn't quite want to take it there. Just once I drew this, I was like, hey, I'll wait. Sure enough, it did kind of bounce on that. And then I got it on this candle. So just looking at it without any lines, it's like, this seems like a crazy spot to get, but it's basically low a day. And it's because of these algos and because of the lines that I had confidence to do it. Not a whole lot of confidence, trust me. And then I also had this steeper precision red one here. Shout out Spy Day Trading on YouTube for the knowledge. So yeah, that's why I got on this candle. Felt risky because it's not my favorite entry. I prefer to get on resistances and not on the breakouts or supports. But sure enough, this ended up working out. And yeah, because it's one of those, like, it doesn't quite complete the inverse cup, builds liquidity right above it, and then flushes through it, which isn't all that uncommon. So I didn't know that, of course. I'm seeing that now, hindsight, but I'm seeing a little head and shoulders at this low, and then it's breaking all of my channels, basically. The gold right here, and then this other gold. So yeah, grabbed it right there. This was a nice trade. Happy about this one for sure, because it really was the only trade. We had not a whole lot of good price action today, not like the last couple days, last few trading days. So got that one at 42 cents at 10:31, closed at 10:35, so it didn't get quite the bottom. I was looking for 5-day retest, which here's 5-day now. It was like right down here. I closed, I got nice slippage though, like in my favor. It was on this candle. So the price went a little bit more, but then by this candle, for the slippage I got, if I waited for this candle and it went a little green, like even same price, it would have been less. So I got that closed 42 cents to 72. So not bad, not 100%, but pretty close, not bad. Happy about that one. And then I walked away, tried to take a break and not look at it because it could have just kept flushing and I don't want to see that. I also just don't want to get greedy and trying to jump into other trades, and I considered like there might be a retracement or something, but I was like, I'm just gonna leave it. So yeah, it did grind up, chop. We had gold build liquidity down here. Could have jumped in on this wick and had this as my support for a stop, but I'm fine with not doing that. So at this point, I'm waiting to see if we're gonna retest and keep continuing down and passing 5-day and grabbing liquidity on the longer time frame, or if we're kind of going to go up in a grind. So yeah, it did kind of make a little inverse head and shoulder here on the break of this white, which is a nice long, but the buying this was just middle of the day, low volume, and there just was not aggressive buying at that point. So no good there. I did have green at this point also, so that was another one I was kind of waiting for, and that will lead to I took a couple. I'm actually red on the big account today, just a little red. Didn't give back everything from yesterday. Some of it though. This is a green one. 12-12. 12-12. I was into calls, and I was actually looking at my strikes today. So that it's been a while since I've done that, and that was kind of crazy because I was getting strikes where my basically profit target was. So much more swingy, like slower to get going, and then once it starts going in your favor, especially once it starts getting closer to the money, it starts going crazy. But until then, it's much slower than getting them at the money or in the money. In the money, the higher delta, it's gonna just kind of grind up. I mean, faster than shares, but not like if it's out of the money, because then out of the money is just kind of waiting. So kind of interesting. This one, I don't know if that was on this one. One of them, I really noticed it, and I think it ended up being a red trade because I just didn't exit fast enough because it was so quickly green, and then it was just like one candle was red. Like, oh. It was like, yeah, 23% to then just like red. 12.10 to 12.16. Yes. It was a call. So again, yeah, I kind of came up on green and just kind of ended up grinding around in here. Broke green, and that's why I got calls here. So could say this was the inverse head with the shoulder, and then breaking green, which was my last one. I think Emperor and Eric probably had a flatter one, I'm assuming. I don't always identify those flatter ones. So I didn't take it on the break. I took it here on the retest. So happy about, oh, alert. Happy about the retest. Yeah, this was the one. This one's the one I got out of the money. So I got, I think my strike I got for on SPX, it was like for high day. So before I would look at the dollar amount and it probably would have been like at the money. So this thing was just kind of chilling. It wasn't doing anything after I got it. And then like this candle went from like 0 to like 23% in a hurry. And I sold one, and then I was like going to do a like just stop out of it, a break even stop, but that was so quick I actually just missed it, and this candle just came down and ended up closing the other two red. Or no, actually I didn't on this one. That was the other trade. Yeah, that was 290, 330, $3, so very small. 12.12, 12.16, 12.19. Yeah, middle of the day, can't expect much. 12.16, 12.19. Maybe I got the stop, the break even on this one, the stop. I don't know. Or no, there it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. Because I got 5 of them because I forgot the money, so I was able to trade more. Yeah, so the first 2 I got profitable, and then I had 3 left that I sold for 205 because I just couldn't get out in time. So yeah, and then no more on that one for till the end of day, and I was back to the little account challenge, engaged. Okay, I saw that put, and then at 246. So that was kind of a bummer that turned red. This was kind of grinding up. What ended up happening here, and from what I could tell, was it basically just everything was right. We had little cups and handles. I would break a green, and then it just wanted to make a nice kind of stop hunt and give a nice big inverse head, which is what this is right here. So the problem with this trade still, though, even if I was more patient and waited for this, because then I could have just bought it on the support and had that as my stop. If I got it down here, or even is that engulfing? Yeah, even on that engulfing candle, which would have been nice, or on the break of green here. This looks much more like a nice inverse head, nice structure. Problem is up here, this is trash. Unless you're doing spreads or futures, like if you have a nice entry, sure, you can just set it and forget it and have it so it triggers an order once it hits high a day. But if you're getting an entry here or here, you're going to lose a lot of value, especially if these are strikes just right up here out of the money. But that's why you get more than one if you're able to, and you can take some profit and then just let it sit. Because realistically, not to say you take an entry here, but you could have gotten the same price here, probably even cheaper than you could here. Yeah, for sure, cheaper. So yeah, anyways, didn't catch that. It did complete the cup. I'm looking for a handle with white, but the one I'm really trusting at this point is green. And yeah, the green looks gold here because I have an alert on it. Let me take that off. There we go. Turn all these alerts off. So came up, it was a pretty small handle, which doesn't matter a whole lot, but it was a small handle. What time is this at? 129. So yeah, we'd broken out on the 30-minute. Your SPY day trading on YouTube's 30-minute chart. It's Eric. So we had completed this cup at 1. So we're looking for a handle intraday, which is this intraday, as well as kind of this larger cup. Or you could say this was potentially the cup and then this was the handle. Now we're seeing if we're going to break out. Either way you look at it, the cup could take a long time or a short amount of time, or So this is pretty tight structure. It broke the green and then it came down and retested nicely, and I even saw it here. I'm like, I guess I could go long, but I really don't like this buying. The buying is very slow. Let's see, I guess I didn't know at that point. Well, I kind of did because it's gold. This was finding this as resistance. So it wasn't like a sharp with volume. So lack of volume midday. I don't think I got anything in there. I just was like, I'll just let it buy up, and then hope for a big red candle to test support, and I'll jump in long there. Which didn't quite happen. At the end of the day, I guess it did. So let's see, 246 to 255. That was a red trade. Yeah, so didn't end up getting on that support. Got it on this break. Wait, what I said? 246 to 255. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and then I just held this one. It just melted down. Like, this sucks. Should have taken profit up here. It was such a small amount, but it was it was a small loss. It was what, 37 cents to 33. Yeah, it's just such a tight range. I didn't have this blue one at that point either. So if I had charted this one a little sooner, and I guess I could have based on this support right here. But this is kind of a tapering one right now. So this definitely helped out later on. If I had charted this sooner, would I have taken this? Probably not. No, I probably would have sat on my hands, because at this point I'm like, okay, maybe I'll take a high day, but not really. I'm looking at the top of this gold. I'm looking at this channel. So I'm thinking if it breaks here, even though this is a pretty small structure, if it was a bigger move, maybe to VWAP, you know, testing this, then sure, yeah, it could have maybe ripped. But with how small this was, lack of volume, we're also in this tapering channel, which I didn't realize. But so yeah, I was looking for that. That's part of the reason I didn't take profits here. Could have done a break-even stop, and I should have. It's hard on a small account because I only have so many trades. If I'm like, oh, this might be my last trade, it's a little mental thing I gotta jump over. Mental gymnastics, 313. Let me see on here, where are we at? Yeah, 313 on the small account. I got 2 puts. Let's see, why was I doing this? So I don't think I still didn't have this blue one at that point. Yeah, okay, this one was frustrating. I looked at Emperor's chart, and I shouldn't have. I should have just trusted my own chart. So we had the tape. I don't even know if I had this tapering in yet. I don't know if I did or not, but it basically broke the gold. We had shoulder liquidity here. I'm thinking VWAP potentially for end of day. I didn't get it on this candle, which was kind of a bummer. I almost got on this one, but the retest wasn't quite what I wanted, and my stop would have been up here at green, so I'm like, I'm gonna just leave it. And then it ended up coming down, and then I'm like, well, now it's fully grabbing the shoulder, and I wasn't even paying attention to this green. I mean, it's so obvious now it's bouncing on this green, but when that's not there, it's like when it's just coming down, you're not thinking, oh, there's a green line there. It's actually just going down to retest that. So before it gets there, I'm checking Emperor's chart and maybe looking for a little confirmation bias. Maybe I'm having a bias at this point, which I shouldn't. And on his, it broke his blue, and so I'm like, oh, this thing's about to dump. So I was kind of focused on his. And because yeah, as you can see, it's all broken. So, and then on mine, it was just like perfect retesting of this green breakout, or green resistance into support now. And my actual break was much higher. It didn't quite make it to the support, but anyways, that was, yeah, I guess it was a bit of a chase. Lack of patience. I was looking for, I had a bias. I shouldn't have had a bias. I just shouldn't have. And I don't think I had the blue. Then after I stopped at this one, then I was like, oh, what's going on here? So then I charted in this blue, even though it did kind of dip below. I don't know where the support is on that, but I think that's the right, I think that's the right tapering algo. Just tested like a bunch of times on the resistance. 313 to 317, 18 cents to 14 on 2 contracts. Let's see, 313, 317. Yeah, so I got it here. It wasn't very pleasant. Yeah, held it. As this candle started to go, I held it, or I closed it. I almost waited till it broke green, but I'm like, I don't know why I'm holding this. This is clearly not. I flipped over my chart and I'm like, dude, it's bouncing perfect on that. I should have gotten calls there. And honestly, yeah, if I wasn't in that trade, potentially I would have. Maybe not though, since I had broken the gold. If I had charted this blue, yeah, I probably would have gotten. I definitely would have gotten calls there. So I can't remember if I charted it or not. I would have probably been looking for puts again. Anyway, so it came up, and then I was down the little account at that point, out of buying power. Kind of a blessing, because I was just, the last 2 trades, I was just giving back gains. I had like pretty nice gains this morning, and I gave back, I think over half of it, which, that sucks. It does. I'm learning though. It's not, to me, it's not about, I mean, I want to make money, but my main goal is to grow confidence so I can continue to do this profitably for a living. And so, yeah, I can't look at the P&L. Have to kind of focus on just heading up the trading. The big account, we have, yeah, this one is red. 320 to 322. 2 stops. So then I did a break-even stop on that one, which is good. These were calls. Oh yeah, so then right here it broke the green, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go long. I don't know if I had the blue yet or not, actually. So got that there. These I didn't feel like managing the risk after that trade. So I got profit on right here and then stopped out the other 2 on that candle. Not like it would have, well, actually this late in the day, this probably would have been a pretty nice little trade, even though it stopped here. And next one was, these were kind of out of the money because I was looking for a VWAP. I was into puts. 324 to 325. Yeah, overtrade to end of day here. Okay, yeah, I didn't have, wait, what? No, that's the other one. It's not 324. Or yeah, it is 324 to 325. Why am I getting puts? What? Oh yeah, I didn't have this one yet. Okay, this. All right, yeah. So puts. All right, I remember now. It broke the gold. It bounced on green. However, this could now be flipping into resistance, and that was my thinking there. Again, just a bit of tunnel vision for VWAP potentially, and trying to catch a trade and not being okay to miss it. That's the thing. You just gotta be totally fine to miss it, and then you'll find the trades that belong to you. So yeah, got in on this candle, rejected here as resistance. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me get puts. Actually, yeah, I was pretty confident in that one for some reason. I guess I don't know if I had this blue still. So my stop would have been this gold, which it was. So small loss. My stop was right there at the gold. And then, oh yeah, this is a lesson for me, and sometimes it works in my favor, sometimes it doesn't, but not to open a trade right before the 10-minute candle. I know that, and I just wasn't thinking, I guess. If I'm in a trade and I've already taken some profit, I'll maybe hold through the 10-minute candle for some risk if it's in my direction, you know, in case it goes my direction. But to open it for the 10-minute move, it's just not, I don't think it's smart. It's fine. It's just a gamble, and I shouldn't be gambling. Not when I'm down on that account for the day and I don't have any cushion, and it's, yeah. So 10-minute candle snaked me on here. I got puts at 349, as you can see. Why? Green is resistance. We do have this tapering, which is, to me, looks like bears controlling the buying. I thought potentially it could come up here, but it was showing resistance here, especially that engulfing candle. So I got puts, and then 10-minute candle. I closed it here, and that was 50%. Yeah, that's also because they were striked for here. So nothing I can do about that. Glad I got out. And yeah, that trade kind of sucked. And then the last trade, which I'm fine I closed. It's hard to see. But yeah, I did get calls then for the reason I didn't get him break on the green. Why? Because of the blue resistance. So 10-minute candle did wick up there, and then it's showing some resistance, and then it closes this candle up there. I throw in the blue or the purple, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get calls. So literally it actually hit my gold. Look at that, to the penny. That's crazy. But that was my legitimate, like, take profit. I knew if it goes up there, it's going to be pretty good. However, on Eric's chart on SPY day trading on the 30-minute, we were real close to this green, and that was really my take profit also. The other one would have been nice, but so yeah, I'll just show you how this played out. My strike was not too crazy high, but high enough to where these weren't really moving. they weren't really moving after I bought it. So 353, and then for 85 cents, yeah, on that, oh, it was actually the beginning of that candle. 54, I closed one. It was just kind of hanging out. So then there's also like the 5-minute move. Sometimes we'll get a, not usually as big as a 10, but the 5-minute candle, sometimes it changes direction or does some volatility. So I'm kind of trying to take a little bit of profit before that, especially since I just got screwed on the 10-minute. Recency effect, I know, but it's still good to do that before the 5-minute candle. And then the 5-minute candle came, and it's just kind of hanging out. And I've had a, oh, that's what it was. I put a limit. No, I sold 2 at 54. Okay, yeah. So the second one's a better fill. $1, 115 was the second one. And then the 5-minute candle came out, and I was just trying to get out of the last one because I was like, this thing could easily flush on the 5-minute. And so I put fill at the bid. And it just went bloop, filled me, and went 400%. So it's fine. In the last, you know, you got to be careful in the last bit. Like, Eric treats these as lottos. So I think he lets them expire worthless if it doesn't work for him. So I'm kind of trying to manage them, which is a little more tricky, and I'm doing it as I'm red. So it was a nice little green trade. 85 cents, $1, $1.15. Not bad. These actually did go to $4 though, so that would have made my day very green. I wouldn't have held all of them though, but that last one, yeah, should have had diamond hands a little bit more on that last one, perhaps, given that it was still holding up there. It was actually literally like a second. Like I filled it, and like as soon as I clicked it, it went like to there almost immediately, and it was like $3.50, $4. So it's like, oh man, such is life. So a little red here, small account. I didn't even show you guys. Here you go. It's actually small green. So $13. Happy about that. Honestly, I think it was like 40 something bucks this morning. That first trade I was down 5, and then second trade it was 30. So is that right? 30? That was more than that. Yes, 30. So I guess it was up $25. Okay, I was never up that much. I mean, it was only one trade. I thought it was up more. That's weird. Okay, yeah, I guess it's not bad. I didn't get back too much to the gains because let's see, all my other trades were red, I think. First trade is red, second trade green, third trade red, fourth trade red. Yeah, I'm 1 for 4 today, and I'm still pretty green. So not bad, not bad. And that's kind of the beauty of this strategy, is tight stops, good, you know, good risk management with these tight stops, and your accuracy doesn't have to be crazy. As you get better, of course, your accuracy can be very good. Eric, I think it seems like his accuracy is honestly 95%, maybe even higher. Given to have that high of accuracy, you have to take quick profits, and I don't know what he does actually with the stops. If he does break even stops, I mean, he just nails it almost all the time. So, but yeah, 1 for 4 doesn't feel the best, but the fact that my one good trade was obvious and made sense. My other trades, yeah, I guess there was that one in here that I guess, yeah, it's just like, I don't want to say it doesn't count, but it was green. I just kind of fumbled the exit. That end of day trade for the 10-minute move. Oh wait, was that on here? Yeah, that was on there. I'm just considering the small account. Yeah, I guess not too bad. I mean, for how bad the price action really was today, because there's this trade, and then I guess you could say retracement, but not really. I'd say there's just that trade. Unless you're doing spreads or futures, there's not much in here that I could see. So there's that one, and then yeah, this is a nice trade, I'd say, end of day for the break of that green was inverse head and shoulder. So thanks guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Have a nice next round. See you tomorrow. Peace out.